Hooray! It's me! Oh, my camera's all out of position. Oh, it's not good, is it? It's not good. Oh, the professionalism's already gone. 30 seconds in and poof. The mystique is over. The mystery has failed already. How are we all? Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Oh, I've changed stuff. I've pushed buttons. Oh my good God, there's 4 of you on Twitch already. What are you doing? Goodness me. What's going on over here? Not that button. That button. Ooh. Right, Kaz. High expectations of today. Will Hydra let me down or will we clog away in happiness? I am slightly concerned as to what your expectations could be, mighty Kaz. I've got to be honest. I am a little bit concerned that you may be setting yourself up for disappointment here. You have to go get pizza. Go and work. Oh, cow. Dude. Dude, if food is more important than the dice gods, I don't know what to say to you, man. I don't know what to say. Hey, aloha. Oh, XS, how you doing, buddy? This doesn't look like a maze. It's a maze of the soul. Tiny bit low volume, maybe 10 or 15% up. Hang on. How's that? Is that improved? Oh, I wonder if it's my... You know what it is. No, it's not that button. It's technical grunting. Where's my levels? That button. Yeah, see, that goes there. That goes there. This comes down a little bit. Now is that better? Oh wait, Blissful Badger. Hello, Nuclear Kid. Hello, hello, hello. Lots of things are up. I'm glad you asked. It's really emotional tonight. No, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm pretty sure setting up myself with unreal expectations is kind of my thing. Well, yes, but that's kind of why we love you. So that's good. It's nice. It is nice. Welcome to Hydra losing sanity stream. Yeah, big time, big time. Although I did do some complex mathematics the other day and realise that I'd set myself up to do objective markers for 50 players, 25 tables, but we're down to 38. So that means I don't have to do the full 50 players. 38. It's good. It's better. It's just less. So I'm kind of happy with that. It just means that I'm having a medium-sized stroke than a full-blown emotional breakdown. Yay! Anyway, how is everybody? Would you guys like to see something I got in the post today? Would you like to see? Hang on. Shall I be really mean? All right, where's the thing? Listen to this. Ready? Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just been some of the first people in the world to hear Operation Mazebreaker. That is literally Operation Mazebreaker. I'm giving it a rattle. I'm actually rattling it, just for you. And we can actually, because we're allowed to show, I can do that. Because we can show anything that has already been shown. So I can show you this. 2-player introductory battle pack. Isn't it pretty? I like just the black logo. It's a little bit classier actually. They've sort of classed this up a little bit. What do we think? What do we think? Do you want to know who that miniature's name is? That's Steve. Everyone say, "Hey, Steve." Or is it? Am I just playing with your emotions? But anyway, you've seen this artwork. This artwork is out there, so that's as much of that as I can show you. I'm watching this currently on OBS, so I can see in real time what's happening. Kind of don't want to go back to chat right now. Anyway, you're a blob. Hey, buddy. Caden, what? Caden, would I be a Yeah, no, totally. You're quite right. Absolutely. But the other thing, thank you. Where is the middle finger? I left doggy, yay, indeed. Gosh darn it, it's a pretty cover. It is a pretty cover. I can show you something else that I got in the post today as well. Hang on. I can legitimately show you this. This is fine. This is a little bit less exciting. Special tournament pack. This is the brand new shiny with the Cien and the Mechazoid in it, as well as Sasha. See this, the little crazy koala keychain? I am so here for that, and I'm not allowed it. This is for the satellite. This is one of the prizes that's going to the satellite. So our first player will get a draw out of any of these that they want. And then, you know, last place is kind of just here with a little spoon. Spoon. I haven't even looked in this box, actually. Should we open this later? Should we have a look at this later? Do you want to open this? This I can open for you. Do you want to open that? You can do that. You can do that if you want. What else do you want to hear? Do you want to hear some other things? We can do other rattly things. Work's been keeping me hella busy. Don't do that, Euroblob. That's not fun. Oh, that's sweet. I want to ask so many questions. You can ask as many as you like, Blissful Badger. I just can't ask anything. Hey, Franco buddy. Hello, buddy. Welcome back. Welcome back. Legit not had time for hobby for like a month and a half. Blob, that is not good. That is not good. Such win, much wow. I know, right? To be fair, I deserve that. The rest of them, not so much. Especially when we came the other day, which was cool. All right. What's different in it except for the keychain? Keychain and limited edition tag and limited edition Chien as well. So it's the only place you can get those two miniatures, which is kind of cool. I kind of regret buying the ITS box earlier now. Should have waited for this one, or maybe buy it anyway. You buy it anyway. That's what you do. ASMR Tournament Pack Edition. Yes, absolutely true. Yes, please do open that box. I will do. So, which do you want to hear first? Do you want to hear Beyond Maze Breaker, or do you want to hear the special edition miniature? Which one do you want to hear first? Does this box solve some of the issues you had with Operation Sandtrap? Yes, and then it adds new ones. Oh, it's going to be such a fun review. I'm prepping for the miniature painting open in Bristol this weekend. Also, I impulse ordered the Black Grail starter for Tetris Crusade. Dear Lord, man. Row, row, row. Have fun, bud. Hobby night is already at the end for me. Oh, buddy. Well, good to see you, albeit briefly. I'm not opening Maze Breaker. That's not one of the options. You've painted a lot. Yeah, you've been busy. What you said the other day. You've been an absolute machine with painting stuff. I'm going to do, because I'm just going to stop holding them, I'm going to shake this one. This is Beyond Operation Maze Breaker. You hear that? Doesn't that sound heavy? It sounds like there's big things in there. And actually, controversially, Beyond Operation Maze Breaker may have aesthetically my favourite miniatures in, and they may not be miniatures that I wish to keep. There you go. So that's a little bit of a... Doesn't that sound good? Sugar, sugar, sugar. Absolutely, Euroblob. I look forward... Yeah, that says that. That's Beyond. Breaking all the rules. I'm just so hardcore. I look forward to getting one then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then this is the limited edition miniature. Hear that? Hear that? Isn't that nice? And... I dislike the limited edition miniature. Oh dear! The box turned up today, and we've seen all the artwork for Maze Breaker for quite a while in the creators group. Let's get this question. If now is about time, what's that mat you're using? Well, this one, this mat here, the one on here. It's a Red Grass Games one, dude. And I like it because it also has like the arcs that you can do for bases, which is really, really useful. And the other side is actually, I've got a colour wheel on the other side, but I keep putting it down this side. I don't know why. Yeah, but that's what I've got. I've been printing 35 Mandalorian troops printed for customizations. I'm totally ready for the new Battle Force. Everybody is ready for the new Mandalorian Battle Force for Legion. I'm so glad I've gotten clones. Yeah, that's exactly why I was interested. Yeah. That is just a standard Red Grass Games one, Blob. It's really useful, and it's got measures on it, and it's one of these little doodads that's... Hang on. When you get your paws on it, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then when I actually got my hands on it, it's kind of useful. As you can see, I use this side a lot. Just having that little colour wheel there is nice to remind me, as well as to actually sometimes reference. So... yeah, but treat yourself. If I recall, it's not actually that expensive as well, Blob, so do it. I started painting the math on Friday. Nice, Blissful Badger. I need to see your stream more often, especially if you painted them on there. I recognise the Red Grass Games wet palette in the corner. Yep, they are just over there. You do indeed. You do indeed. The big one. My delightful wife grabbed that one for me. a little while back. She's like, if you're going to paint a lot, you should have a decent sized wet palette. I thought, thank you. Which is why we got to our 5th year of wedded bliss on Sunday. Much happiness. Married for 5 years. I know, guys, I'm off the market. I know it's breaking your heart, but it's true. I don't know if it'll be good, but it'll be fun to play. Who doesn't want to be a Mandalorian? No, it's absolutely true, Kaz. I get the of the Mandalorians, but currently I'm doing my painting on old newspapers. Okay, you should totally treat yourself to a matte blob. That's the thing you should do. Beyond Operation Mazebreaker tag confirmed. Anyway, so no, I don't want to say a tag. Anyway, anywho, thank you. I'm just amazed that she's not left me yet. It's a bewildering state of affairs. She's an intelligent, capable, impressive, and gorgeous, and funny, witty, educated woman, and then she hangs around with me. So I guess that's the blind side, right? But you know, 5 years is pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. It's one of those things that yeah, it feels like a long time and no time all at the same time. So it's good. Happy, happy, happy. All the love in the room. Darling, the myth has returned. You got a cutting mat. Cutting mat's good. I wouldn't call myself a myth, Darling. I wouldn't quite go that way. If you want to call me a myth, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, could just use it for painting. Yeah. Makes sense. She'd pick a treasure like you, Hydra. The only way that I'm a treasure Euroblob is that I should be taken to the garden and buried, my friend. That's pretty much it. We're doing positivity tonight, boys, not snark. I'm sorry, you're in the wrong room. I come loaded with sarcasm. It's not. That's just pre-installed. It's part of my operating system. We're going to be doing a lot of very scrappy dry brushing tonight because I have a lot of objective markers to do. And I don't want to make them too nice because otherwise people will steal them. Because I know what the calibre of people that are bringing tables to the satellite are like. They're just going to steal my stuff. So I'm going to make them look all right, but not too good. You don't want to be too fancy. Things start going missing then. You have to start patting people's pockets down. And it gets weird because some people like it. And it's just, you know, whoop, hello. Just got to look out for that. Yeah, but snark rather than earnest positivity won't floss to you as much. True. Welcome back anyway. What on earth are you painting objectives? Yes, I'm painting objectives for the Dutch satellite tournament, which happens in 2 weeks. So it's one of those things. I've just got to get these done. I think I've kind of got a lot of a table to do as well, but we'll see. I don't think maybe not. Maybe not need doing. But yeah, so we've got 38 players coming for 5 rounds of absolute mayhem. In a week on Saturday, so look forward to lots of fluff and stuff about that. I am the God King TA for that, so I should be wandering around abusing my power and making random rulings, different ones at each table, just to add to the excitement. I find that adds to the tension in the day. If you get 2 players that disagree on what the TO said, it's going well. Anyway, right. I have so many of these to do. I'm almost done painting my minis to bring to the satellite. Nice. Awesome. How's a Dutch satellite different from other satellites? I'm the TO. That's one of the first things. We get to go for ice cream afterwards, which is going to be epic. There's lots of different ways. You'll hear about it. You'll get to see it. It's going to be good. I know my streams are late for you. They are late. Blissful Badger, that's the biggest issue. I'm just impressed you're here for me. I got my wife and the RGG Desk Labs too. Easier to buy hobby goodies when you also... Yeah, that's absolutely true, man. I'm married 12, together 23. Not even 40 yet. Some things just work out. Absolutely true, Kaz. And bravo. Good job, my friend. I'm a madman. I just finished Metsuki Officer this morning. Started his Jizumarai Pals right now. I have 300 points of Shinton finished. That is impressive, dude. I don't even have 300 points of Shinton, and I got my Shinton before they came out. So that's the thing. I think the expression is just because there's a goalkeeper doesn't mean you can't score. Fair play. It's 23 and 24, right? Are there still spots left? Technically, there are still spots left, but at the moment we've got an even number. So if you want to come, bring a friend. Yeah. So a week on Saturday. Got until Saturday to submit lists as well for this Saturday, which I really should update everybody about. So yeah, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Dutch ice cream, that sounds like it would be a thing. Straight waffle flavour. You can get straight waffle ice cream over here and it's pretty tasty. But last weekend I went for Mars bar flavour, which was incredibly tasty. Incredibly tasty. Very, very bad for my my diet and my sugar levels, but made me very happy, so that's important too. But then ice cream is mostly about being happy, I think. Like wargaming, it should make you happy and cheerful. All sorts of inappropriate places. Free straight waffle. I'm not giving free straight. Well, we can do free straight waffles actually. That's probably a thing. That could be a fun idea as you make the rounds. Rules pop quiz. Ask a random question on a rule. If they get it right, they get a straight waffle. Actually, what I should do is just have random Dutch words and hold it up for people to pronounce if they're not Dutch. Had Kinder Bueno flavoured ice cream not too long ago. Simply good. Yep. We have that. The local ice cream salon actually has that, and it is very tasty. Maybe I just put a coherent list of finished menus together. That's a good plan. Having a coherent list is important. Having a plan is important. We have much to talk about today. We have much to talk about. We have satellites to talk about. We have a medium-sized rant. I'm going to rant at you guys. It's going to be fun. Aren't straight waffles frisbee-shaped? They sound dangerous. They are frisbee-shaped, although I did have a straight waffle biscuit this morning, which was incredibly tasty, and it was actually more deadly than a straight waffle itself, because it was heavier and it was slightly more dense, so I think, yeah. Like, I think you could concuss a reasonably sized hamster with your average straight waffle, but this sort of straight waffle biscuit, I think you could do a serious amount of damage to maybe a small dog, maybe a cat. Definitely a cat, but yeah. I wouldn't recommend throwing them out, but you know what I mean? There's some weight, there's some heft to a straight waffle biscuit that I wouldn't recommend throwing them around, especially at pets. Glad we cleared that one up. The food in the Netherlands always confused me. A random train station once had a kebab. 2 is better than what you get in the high street in the UK. Yeah, that was the thing that I struggled with when I came over here, because you go drinking in the UK and afterwards you have a kebab, and the kebab is a poor life choice, but that is the point. When you pick it up, you can feel your arteries clogging. And I came over here and I had my first doner kebab, and I was like, this is going to be great. And it was basically health food. I was like, what the hell is this? This looks like it came from a named animal. I think I could probably identify the vegetables in here, and there are vegetables in here, and there's salad, and there's just, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very confused. I'm drunk and disappointed in my kebab. And that's, yeah, I've had that several times. I was like, well, maybe this one will be different. It was not. Every time. Different place, different kebab, just as healthy. Very sad. Completely defeats the object. If I'm not left feeling in the morning like I've made a poor life choice by eating it, was it even worth it? No, it wasn't. It's a rhetorical question. It's the second best ice cream flavour I've had. Best was Amarena Cherry Dream. White chocolate ice cream with Amarena cherries in it. Dear Lord. Kebab is excellent sober food too. Not in the UK, it's not. It's a life choice where you are gambling on the ability for the person that serves it to you to wash their hands and to have clean stuff in their building. And it's probably unlikely. And that's the fun. It's only a good idea when you're drunk. And you need the alcohol in your system to fight off all the nasties that are on the food. So, yeah. That's very different approach. Absolutely. I mean the Dutch, theirs is the same as the Danish. Yeah, absolutely. Healthy, fresh vegetables, nice meat, very confusing. If it's not made of calories, what's the point? Dalaner, this is the thing. It should be made of calories and poor life choices. That's what a kebab is for. And the Dutch just don't get it, and it's very confusing even now. So, you'll be honoured to know that I am taking... well, it's the Dutch satellite, not the Holland satellite, because we're not in Holland. Dun, dun, dun. You take it as seriously as the Riga satellite. I still don't know what army I'm bringing. I'm honoured. I'm deeply honoured. You should totally send me a list, and then I can tell you which one not to bring. That's the way forward. I googled Dutch drunk food and got bitterball. Oh, bitterball. I could go for some of those right now. That's a thing. That is definitely a thing. But they do have to be... Internally, they have to be the temperature of the sun. Bitterboller. So it's like, for those of you who've not experienced it, it's like a little ball of breadcrumbs, fried breadcrumbs, and inside is like a meat ragu type thing. And you have it with mustard, and it's just good. It's just, especially with beer, it's just good. War fries and bread croquettes. I wouldn't have bread croquette, but I don't like croquettes, so like a Scotch egg without the egg. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, ish, but much smaller, and yeah, it's finger. You eat a lot of finger food in the Netherlands, and it's because like you can sit on a terrace for an afternoon with your friends, with your buddies, drinking and just getting like little finger food snacks to soak up the alcohol and to keep the munchies away all afternoon. And what that has the net effect of doing is that when you stand up and realise how completely wasted you are, it's way, way, way too late, basically, because everything's been hiding, it's been masking how bad things have got. And you're like, I'm eating, I'll be fine. And you stand up and you're like, I am not fine and I'll be never fine again. But, you know, it's part of the experience, part of the cafe culture. I was typing a cry, then you said the same thing, drunk disappointed. I do enjoy the country, though. Planning to travel next year. I've been a few times for the... Stop making me hungry. Shampoo, I am so sorry. I'm doing well, my friend. How are you? Now it does. Thank you very much for subscribing over on Twitch. 6-month streak. Dear Lord. Thank you. Danish drunk food is almost 100% sausage. Yes, that has been my experience of being over there too. Daneland. Very tasty. No list in public until the tourney. If my opponent does not have a face of complete confusion when I deploy, am I really playing Infinity? Fair point, well made. Fair point, well. I think that when HydraBreaker lands, there's going to be a few people who are going to look at it and go, "Wow!" and then they're going to have looks of confusion when it settles in, because I had that. I looked at, when I first saw the box, I was like, "Wow!" and then I looked at it again and I was like, "Huh!" and then I looked at it again and I was like, "Huh." I can't remember when the deadline is, but there's going to be, I've got a lot of like videos to make. We're going to do an unboxing. We are going to be doing learning to play Infinity with HydraBreaker. We are going to be doing a review. We're going to be doing another video that I'm not going to talk about because that would let the cat out of the bag. And one of the videos is going to use a phrase that my gorgeous wife used when looking at one of the particular miniatures, and said, now my wife did say it, and she is over here, so you'll know if I'm lying because they'll, you know, you'll see what I mean. Where she described the miniature as looking like one of those OnlyFans models who's trying to apply for business and sell content. That's what one of the miniatures was described as by my wife. Now that may be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you feel about such things, but I was like, damn it, yeah, now I can't unsee that. So I'm going to give that to all of you as a gift during one of the videos. I won't tell you which, but when it happens, you can have that for free. It's courtesy of my lovely wife, courtesy of the delightful Lilith, she's got a vicious streak a mile wide, and I love her for it. That's your kind of miniature. Question is, will you be doing a playthrough of the new Eldford Dungeon Crawler when it drops? There's a new Eldford Dungeon Crawler. Yes, that is. If I, oh, Euroblob, yes, you do objectively make the most hot dogs, although the volume of hot dogs you make is bewildering. So, although I'll give the UK makes great sausages, I do. When I go back to the UK and have sausages, it's like, why is there just like a sad selection of like 10 different sausages in the Netherlands, and then I come over here and there's a whole sort of supermarket aisle. We may have access to that dungeon crawler quite early, Dalinair. So if we do that, then there may be some really cool stuff coming from the Dice Gods on that. And yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that just yet, but we'll see. There's discussions, and those discussions are really exciting. So yeah. Stop dropping the blooming... this is not helping the painting. Yeah. I'm at the gym. How do you think? Oh, but I'm okay overall. Making objectives. Yes, just scruffing up objectives for the satellite, my dude, because it needs to be done. There are many. So we're just making them look a little bit presentable, so when they sit on the table and don't fly away, they look all right. Because then everyone has the same size objectives and the same shape of objectives, and it just keeps things standard. My 15 math models is 400 points. Yep, standard. Someone best be the warden of those the keys. No coincidence. Oh God, I don't need to go and get another. There we go. So I need to go and get another one of these. I'll need to figure out what to not take once I get a game in. That's easy. Whatever you do not take will be the thing that you turn out to need in the next game, because that's how that works. Absolutely how that works. Well, based on the description, also guessing it's LF. Solidifies my choice, no hate. No comment. I want to get it, but I need to paint and actually play. That, Franco, is important. Is very important. But maybe it would be a good choice. For some reasons, but not for others. There's some stuff I need to work. Anyway, you'll see. You'll see when that embargo lifts. That's a bit of a heavy brush, but never mind. That's fine. Make it all shiny. Yeah. I think now that you said it, I had to think about it. And they said, Balkans are complicated. Netherlands is a country, Holland is a region, and Dutch is people living in this country in culture and language. Yes. So, a little brief history from what I understand of it, and I may end up getting wrestled in a minute by Dutch people in the chat, but as I understand it, Dutch comes from basically English, hearing Dutch, thinking it sounded like German, which was known as Deutsch, so therefore giving them Dutch as a name, which just sounds like the kind of thing my country folk would do. And Holland comes from the fact that a lot of the first Dutch people that people met were sailors, and the sailors come from the west of the country, which is North Holland and South Holland, so therefore they thought the country was called Holland, so people were like, oh, you're from Holland. But in the same way as all of Texas is America, not all of America is Texas, not all of the Netherlands is Holland, but all of Holland is the Netherlands, pretty much. I don't think there's any Holland in Belgium. That's a very niche thing. Anyway, but yes. So yeah, it's one of those things, and Dutch people don't care about it because Dutch people are pretty chill about most things. But as a transplant into the country, I'm like, hang on, you've got that wrong. That's not what the country's called, because that's just how I'm built. Pedantry is important. Pedantry is very important when it's your new home. So. Mate, they can give you some giveaway. I have got giveaways. So at the moment, I've just loaded that brush, hang on. So at the moment, we're giving this guy away, which a lot of you may have seen. So this starter set is getting given away on bolt action videos. When he's gone, next month, then I'm going to do the giveaway of the Gladiatrix for Eldful. That's going to be next on deck. And then we're going to do the giveaway for Infinity, basically. Or maybe I should do the giveaway for... Maybe I'll do the miniature giveaway as part of the videos for HydraBreaker. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's a nice thing. Should we do that? I think we'll do that. That's a good time to do it. Watch the videos, win stuff. I think that's a nice idea. So yeah, we got more giveaways coming up, but that won't be. I'm not giving away an Eldful unreleased. I don't know. I appreciate your optimism. There's a very complicated word tonight. I appreciate your optimism, but I'm not giving away an unreleased, and I don't have one anyway. Shush. Moving on. But is this a new Dungeon Crawl expansion or the one that's calling me from Walsall? So the one that's calling you from Walsall, Gene Dean, that is Northern Wind. That is the first Dungeon Crawler. There is a new Dungeon Crawler which will drop later this year on Kickstarter from Eldful, and that's called Apocrypha. And Apocrypha is a beast and beautiful, and yes, all will be revealed in the fullness of time. And hello, you do bring the Decker. Too tired for the indeed. Dragging GW product all over my Discord server. I'm going to have to disinfect the place when you're done with that particular set of conversations, honestly. Filth. I can just about live with when it's blooming Battles of Middle Earth, or Middle Earth Fantasy Battle fluff get. I can live with that because, you know, who doesn't like a Hobbit? But when it's just like actual GW product, well, brings me out in hives. Need to lie down. Afterwards, you can try down there. Northern Wind is finally back in stock in the UK. Yes, it is. They did a massive restock everywhere, and it's good to see. It's good to see. More people should buy it. Also, yeah, definitely you should buy it. It's definitely worth it for the story. But Brown Mike, hello, good evening. Good evening, chaps. Hydra, I hope you had a good holiday break. Been a bit mental at work my side, so still got to catch up on all the Discord chat. Is the new Mazebreaker going to have a new LF sectorial? I did have a good break, thank you very much. Went into a really cool store with lots of Star Wars stuff. It got very exciting. You'll all find out about that. I talk about that store on the video that comes out on Friday for the third time. Yeah. It does not have a new sectorial. It has OSS. So it is Operations Subsection, which is already out, which is, yeah, but then there's also, yeah, it's existing, but it's N5ing it up with everything that entails, curse and blessing as that may be. So you will see. It's not going to be a bad time to be playing OSS and playing LF, I think. Yes, as far as I'm prepared to go on that particular conversation. Somebody was talking actually about whether they should like buy, you know, oh, I was just about to buy Corregidor, and you know, now I'm going to have to wait for new miniatures. You're fine. Do both. You're fine. It's all good. As far as I understand it, just get stuck in, basically. That would be my advice. Like what? I'll be getting it regardless. I'm worried about them shooting my baby profiles at OSS. No comment. I do want it, but I've not painted a thing while you've been away. Slacked to an epic level. Dalanera, I'm very disappointed at you, and I hope you have a brush in your hand currently. If I can be sat here mass painting blooming objective markers, the least you can do is be joining in and getting rid of some of your grey while I'm making everything grey. But you know what I mean. Get on with it. What are you doing? Slacking. Disappointing. Honestly, I go away for a couple of weeks and the world falls apart. Very disappointed in all of you. Well, Dalanera specifically. Wait. Is that Mazebreaker box up for winning in the satellite? Do I need to take this seriously? No, that Mazebreaker box is not up for winning in the satellite. Moving on. Okay, so I'll need to keep an eye on another Eldful box. Good to know. Yeah, Blissful Badger, that will drop as a Kickstarter later on this year. To be fair, I do display every game all the time. I am a polygamer. Really? Polygamerous relation. I mean, I'm kind of proud of you, Gene, but I'm also kind of disgusted. I need a shower and I'm amused. It's a bit of both. My friend just got the OSS action pack. Interesting. I just, yeah. Sure. I can't. And I'd love to, but it's not one of the options. I'm brushing, you're dry brushing the two-tailed wolf. Good. Two-tailed wolf. Good. Dry brush away. That's all I'm doing this evening. This is the epitome of laziness when it comes to doing objectives. It's just, yep. Paint it black, paint it grey. Larkbeard, hello. Good evening. I still need to send you a miniature. I am too busy with the satellite at the moment to sort that out. I'm sorry. I have not forgotten. It's on my list of things to do. Right next to take 5 minutes for myself and do something fun. I have so much to do at the moment, it's untrue. But we'll get there. And when it is done, when the last die has been cast and we give out... My good God, I have organised some prizes. It's bonkers. I don't think absolutely everybody's going to get them, but the people that are going to score prizes at this satellite are going to be chuffed to bits. So much to do, so many beans to spill. Always the way. Always the way. Forgive me mentioning the GW filth. What finally killed it for me is when they dropped a huge part of my Stormcast army in the whatever edition now. Rumour, same as happened to Space Marines. Yeah, absolutely. You can mention it. I'm not going to talk about GW on here because there's a lot of other places that do it, and I don't need to. Because if you want to talk about that, or you want somebody else to talk about that and give you opinions, you can go a million other places to do that. But you know, you can always welcome to talk about it. It's fine. It's only if it starts getting in the way of talking about other stuff that I'm like, nope, stop it. Basically. Right, is that all the stuff I'm going to dry brush on there? It is all the stuff I'm going to dry brush on there. Where's me handy and convenient brush water? Look at the handy and convenient brush. Look at the convenience of this particular handy and convenient brush water receptacle. Oh, the quality. You can feel it. My friends want to play the new 40k edition, and I'm like, no, don't do it to yourselves. You know, you can't help stupid sometimes, down there. I don't wish to be rude about your friends. I'm sure they're delightful. But sometimes you just got to let people make their own mistakes in life. And if that's what they want to do with their time, money, and kidneys, then crack on. So, to be fair, the old OSS action pack was amazing. It got me into the game. Yeah. I can understand that. Technically, Aleph was my first army, and I was waiting for the Vedic Sectorial, which is OSS, for a very long time. It's a very, very cool army. I love the concept behind it and the tone behind it and stuff. But at the moment, we're paring back armies because I'm just refocusing for a bit. I'm down. What am I down to? 5 or 6? Yeah, something like that. 5 or 6 armies. So it's good. It's good. Yeah, Cold Front. That's the one. That is the one. Cold Front was cool. I like that. That was TAC versus, wasn't it? From memory. Things are going to get a bit fabulous here for a minute, guys. We're going to go do some pink. It's going to be very pink. I'm going to enjoy it immensely. I would quite like to get some OSS stuff, but with the new stuff on the way, it's never safe to know what's about to get new shiny. Hey, Evie Love, thank you for following on Twitch. Appreciate you. I had pink. Here's a follow. If that's what it takes, I'm gonna start working my way through the colours of the rainbow just to get more follows. Yeah. It's just the kind of creature I am. I hear follow, I use colour. So yes, welcome. Evie, are you a modeler? Are you a gamer? Who are you, and welcome. So what are we talking about? I'd rather distract with Drop Fleet Commander. Drop Fleet Commander, hang on. Biophycer. If you don't know your Drop Fleet, that's a Biophycer. These are bonkers little ships, they really are. They're not the main reason, they're not the main love, but they are crazy. Getting those ready for demo sets. Back up on the shelf, yep. But yes, we're going to get some pink on these because they're going up red. Really like boom red, so I kind of got to get a nice sort of shade of pink across them because I like how that brings up the red at the end and gives me some shadows to play with and stuff. So anyway, enough of what I'm doing. I am someone who bought a single box of Infinity about a decade ago, something that's considered an Onyx starter kit now. Okay, and is OOP. And I'm considering getting into the game with Mazebreaker. Mazebreaker, yeah. Well, Drop Fleet Commander, yes. Drop Fleet Commander, yes. More about that in a second. Well, Mazebreaker there's going to be a whole load of stuff on my YouTube channel really soon about that. I need to remember what my embargo date is. I have no idea what my embargo date is for that. But as I did earlier, I can just do this. This is fun. You ready? Haha! I can do that. You can see this bit, that's allowed. And we've established that this miniature is called Steve. That's Steve. Everyone say, hi Steve. But we can't do anything else other than that. So I'm going to put that back down there. Because if it's already been shown on the main channel of Corvus Belli, it's no longer an NDA. So that's cool. So there you go, you can see that. What's the dog's name? Barry.
No, he's Barry. I know he does look Frank. Frank is his brother. He's actually Barry. I had a my original Oban or JSA army was sort of neon pink and like a neon-y type blue as well. It's very cool. I love that army. I think the picture of the Karakuri and one of the bikers or in progress is still up on my Instagram. Out there. What calls cows? No! Don't care! Anyway, yes. Bye. Don't work too hard. The rent's coming later. Rather quiet today. Am I quiet again today? I was told it was quiet earlier and they turned it up. So, yeah. Hang on, where am I? They almost did the same with Infinity. That was a rebound and a half to bring back the sectorials. Now N5. Well, they were gonna bring them back, but I get the impression, well, there's a whole thought process behind the return of the removed sectorials, but I'm not getting into that tonight because tonight is about love and happiness and me having a rant in a minute. And I'm going to do something that I rarely. It was either I said to myself, I'm either going to do a reaction video or I'm going to rant on live stream. And I decided I'm going to rant on live stream because I don't want to do a reaction video because I don't actually want to call out this person like directly. I just want to vent thoughts about people in this sphere, in the sort of making videos and such things. I'm not going to say content and I'm not going to say influencer because neither of those things are true. But I want to go away with painting my Lupus Rex pink. Do it! Do it! I had a Shadow Fleet. My mum said I should have painted them pink. Oh. Shadows. Anyway, moving on. Did you just see the tribes opened up for Drop Fleet? Nope, didn't. Rather quiet. All right, so I'm just going to turn up. Hello, by the way, Multiverse. Good evening. Should we? I'm going to turn this up a little bit more. Is that better? Or am I now deafening? That's as high as I can turn this up right now without doing some serious tinkering. I don't think my gain is off either. Hang on. Yeah, I'm good. That's as loud as we can get. It's probably me being quiet as well because it's been a long weekend. I'm very tired. Very tired indeed. But I'm actually on screen. That's good. Go me. I did drop Fleet Wires. I have appeared on the TT Combat page. I'm the Sheltari guy from the Battle Report the other month. Right, I need to, because I'm working my way through those. So I need to go back through and then go, ha, in a very weird way. And be like, I know what you look like. No, that's just strange. Let's not do that. Let's not, you know what I mean. Anyway, I should look at that and then I should judge you for your performance in game. It'll be amazing. I did get a 3D printed shadow from Etsy. Oh, nice. It's really cool they got Lady Nimia on the campaign, proper getting the rave going. Cyberpunk should have much more music in it. Yeah, absolutely. It should do. It should do. I often paint with music going. So it's often cyberpunk appropriate. What cool. Ingir, hello buddy. You're just painting. Nice one, Franco. Greetings, Ingir. How are you? Are you well? I'm wondering if Warcrow will do sectorials. Nope. You should watch the interview that I did with the Hoopu last week. There is an answer to that question in that 2 hour and 5 minute wonder beast of awesomeness, which was a very enjoyable interview. We had two of the devs of Warcrow on there basically, Hoopu and Ningash, and it was a really fun chat. And we answered that question. Well, we answered that question. I obviously decided, but they answered that question about Warcrow. So there's that. Mike, good evening. Hello, buddy. Welcome. How are you, my friend? Long time no see. How is life with you, buddy? I'm doing very pink tonight. Getting all the pink on. There's an Infinity PC skirmish game on PC soon. Is there? Are you sure? That is fluff. Apparently have green lupus. I can believe that. It's the kind of craziness that they would have. Absolutely. PC skirmish. I don't know if there's a skirmish game. I've heard rumours of it, but I've not actually seen anything of it in a meaningful way. I know that we're getting the Aristea game. That's on its way. So that's, if you like that, that's coming. So there's that. I owned Aristea for a while. That was exciting. I got rid of it. Anyway, could you tell me a bit about this satellite event you were talking about? I live in the Netherlands. Oh, really? I'm curious if it's something worth visiting just to spectate. Well, if you do want to visit and spectate, you will be more than welcome. It takes place a week on Saturday in Oosterhout, just outside of Breda. And it will see 38 players from across Europe coming together to smash the snot out of each other over 2 days and 5 rounds of Infinity, absolute hardcore. And the winner will get automatic entry into the Interplanetario in Spain, where you can compete against everybody else from around the world. And their engine, I need to check that out if it's on Steam. And yeah, it's I'm going to be TOing it. I've got a whole bunch of my team over here who are going to be supporting and co-TOing, and yeah, we're going to have painting competition. We're going to have so many prizes, it's obscene. We've got support from Micro Art Studio, who've given us some terrain to give away. And from Lowland Miniatures, who've given us some gift cards to give away. And we have some loads of stuff actually from Corvus Belly. They sent an obscene amount of stuff for us to give. Yeah, we got loads of stuff. And I got the special edition tournament pack, the new one that's just dropped. So yeah, there's loads of toys. It's going to be great. It's going to be cool, Evie. It's going to be very cool indeed. Where are you based? Which part of the... I barely know her. Only you lot, Beard. Which part of the Netherlands are you in? If you are local-ish, then we have a thriving community around here. Which you are, yeah, welcome to connect with. Hexadrome Tactics, that's the one. But you can send stuff my way. You wouldn't mind, Turgulent. That's very kind of you. I can send you stuff. Same alongside like a living Groningen. Wow, yeah, I know. I know Groningen. I went there for my 40th birthday. Lovely part of the world, actually. Very nice indeed. So I did the Afsluitdijk where I was up there, which is something that everyone should do once. Definitely once. Right, where are we? Currently have a printer, but I spent a bit of models. Nice. Hoopu has enough energy and passion to power a small city. Medium-sized city, little stinker. She's a little legend of a human being, and one of my favourite mammals, I have to say. And I've got some pretty favourite mammals. So, yeah, she's great people. And I love to... The problem with it is... Because like I thought I'd do that interview with her last week, and I was like, well, you know, we'll sit down with Ingash and we'll have a chat for sort of an hour. And then actually the chat that I had with her was 3 hours long, and the interview was 2 of that. So there was an hour of just like swearing at Teams. That happened a lot because Teams is not fun, and yeah, other stuff. So yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was a fun chat. It was an interesting chat actually. We got, yeah, away from topic, off camera, unfortunately for you lot. That was really interesting. Can't tell you about it, but it was interesting. Oh my goodness. After your brilliant advice on LF expansion for Coldfront, just had a question about the Garuda. Do I get the standalone Garuda Spitfire or the one in the LF booster? I think the LF booster is a boarding shotgun. I would always take the Spitfire because dropping into the enemy's backfield with a Spitfire that's fast moving and all that kind of stuff with the mimetism is nothing short of hilarious and unpleasant. So you should totally do that. I've been better, but thank you for asking, Hydra. I'm excited to take some final pics of my CNN I was working on and post them, moving to the next model and season this week. You're doing really good work, actually, with that CNN. I have to say, I was like, that's well executed. It's very pretty. Very, very nice. Doing fine, thanks. Hope you do. What are you painting today? I am painting purely objectives for the satellite tournament in a couple of weeks, because I have over 100 of these to do in total. Now, some would say I should have done them before now, but there's a whole load of things I should have done for this before now that it's just been one of those years. It's just not come together. So we're doing it now, and yeah, they're going to get done in time. It'll be fine, but it just means that rather than painting pretty miniatures and stuff, get me painting 3D printed all of these tech coffins. So that's nice. Yay! Did in pink. I like a bit of pink. It's nice. Oh yeah, the Teams audio was rough. We need to get Max to get them proper audio corner at CBHQ. Yeah. It's more that the way that Teams structures images and stuff is not really helpful if you want to record both sides of it. So we ended up moving to Google because you can stick yourself side by side on that one. It's just easier. Whereas with Teams, it's like, no, I have to stick you smaller because you don't need to see yourself. I beg to frickin' differ there, Mr. Bloominggates. But hey ho, 100. I guess there will be many tables playing simultaneously. Exactly. 19 tables. And when you have different types of... The problem is, I have standards. So technically, these are all 40mm, or most of them are 40mm based pieces of terrain. That's it. That's all they are. But if you're using an antenna, I want it to look like an antenna. And if you're using a tech coffin, I want to look tech coffin. It's just me. It's just how my brain works. So yeah, I have different ones, and it makes me happy. It makes me wildly happy. So yeah, there's that. Well, it's killing me. How are you? Is Aerostay coming out at Gen Con? I don't know. I don't. So Mike, I'll be honest, there are things in this life that interest me, and there are things in this life that do not. And Aristea has always been one of those things that I've been like, cool. And that's as far as it goes. I don't care. I don't care to care, actually, about that. It doesn't interest me. And therefore, I don't actually pursue actively stuff about it. The same with Acheron Falls, the spaceship game. I saw that played at the Interplanetario a couple of years ago, and it was fine. But that's not enough to, don't get the hype off of it. So, yeah, I wasn't into it. It just didn't do it for me. So I then sort of mentally don't store information about it. So if I've heard anything about Aristea, which I may have done, it has been deleted based on, I have to make notes. It's a problem. It's just how my brain works. So, yeah. But if I do hear anything, I'll try and remember to tell you. Ping your messages and such, just so you can get the inside skinny on what's going on. Shikami JSA Infinity just went up on my YouTube channel. Nice. I should look forward to that. Unfortunately, why are you using are you not using an airbrush for the base coat? Because this is actually already base coated down in the colours that I want to do it on, and me and my airbrush, we don't get on. And I've done the airbrushing that I want to do. I don't like airbrushing on stream. I'm not going to do that because I don't like airbrushing at the best of times. And I can just do this and chat to you guys. So I'm kind of happy with that. But like some of the other elements and some of the other bits that I did get airbrushed. That was fine. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of airbrushing. I have a good friend who is an absolute sniper with an airbrush. The man's an absolute legend. And you know when you've seen somebody who's a genius at something and you're like, I'm not going to be that good, so I'm just going to use it for the very basics, and that's fine. I don't have the energy or the time or the inclination to be that good, so I don't try. Because you got to know what you want out of your hobby. And yeah, I don't want to be good at airbrushing. That's what it boils down to. Well, how do you have commercials during a live stream? What? Hang on a second. If that's going on, I just need to check out what's going on with my... because they should be turned off. Oof. Let me just check. Those should not be on. Automatically, really? Manual. Sorry about that. They should have been turned to manual. That should be better. That shouldn't happen again now, Mike. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. Unfortunately, going to miss the rant at event in London so early night, plus my fiance wants to chat before bed. Have a good rant. I shall do. Well, on a recent video with Carlos, did he mention the new resin CB is using going forward to be the main material going forward? So I can never... I believe so. As I understand it. You got political ads, Gene Dean. My good God. I apologise for targeting you with something. I hope it was suitable. I hope it was channel appropriate. Yeah, I believe so. Increasingly, we're seeing Unical standard across the board, which is nice. Because that's kind of what we want to see. We don't want to see SEOcast. So, as I understand it, that's going to be the case. And that's going to make me happy when they have done that. Because it needs to happen. Very much so. Dorina Jean, you are welcome to post your channel on Twitch if you want to. You can put a link there. Absolutely. That was nearly me drinking my paint water. Let's try that again. And yes, before you ask, it was the fact that it's labelled that made me stop drinking it. So, yay. Oh dear. You got anime ads. And yeah, that does not surprise me. You have a box right there. No. So no. As I understand it, all the stuff. So like, there are issues, and this is going to come as a surprise to so many of you. There are issues with Corvus Belli with relation to certain things, and one of those things is the labelling, the successful labelling of materials on their website. So if you go to the store and you look at the material that something's made of, things that are made of SEOcast are labelled differently to things that are made from Unical, unless they're not. Now you just had adverts. There's adverts going everywhere. What's going on? Actually, I have no control over the ones on Twitch. I need to look at that. I haven't set those up, so I need to poke that. I need to spend more time on Twitch, just pulling switches and throwing levers, but there shouldn't be ads. As a general rule, I don't mind putting ads like on YouTube videos and stuff, because that's kind of one of the ways that I get the people that are like, well, I'm not going to be a member of your channel. Hang on 1 second. So, yeah, that's the way that I punish those horrible people who legitimately will come and watch your stuff and say that was really useful. And you're like, well, thank you for that, but I don't think it's right that you charge people for membership. Yeah, because I should do this for free. Anywho, so that's why the ads are on there. And I wish that I could have a way of saying members don't get ads, but that's, yeah. Don't get me started on that. YouTube is just not that clever. Not that clever at all. What was I talking about? Is the unicorn called Unicron? Is the unicorn called Unicron? No, it's not. Not as far as I'm aware. Ah, dear. And I have a box right here, you're quite right. Honestly, don't want to buy more Warcrow models until they switch over to all Unico. That is... that appears to be the case. So, because the new riders for Scions, after I was talking to Hooper, I was like, these are labelled the same thing as the stuff that's SEOcast. And she was like, I don't think they are, let me check. And she went off to check, and they are in fact Unicorn, which makes me wildly happy and means I get some horsies. Yay! So I need to sort that out. And then I actually need to start painting all of my Scions. But that's for down the line. Rock is calling. Okay, see you later, June. Dean, take care. What is SEOcast actually good for? Showing you how good Unicall is, Mike. That is basically what SEOcast is great at. When you've had a SEOcast miniature and then you get a Unicall miniature, you're like, dear God, this is a good material. Whereas if you didn't have that Seocast experience, you'd just be like, this is really nice. I quite like this. This is a really easy to work with material. But you're actually grateful for the existence of Unicorn once you've played with Seocast. That's just how it is. That's just what it's for. I get the whole, like, there was a whole load of hype around Seocast when CB got into it. They were needed to move away from metal, and they spoke to the guys that make the material, make the machines, and they got involved in the hype. And there are some companies that made it out, sort of reasonable. I think Night Models made some good ones for Batman, for the Batman miniature game, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just a bit of a pig, and I'm not a fan of it. The concept's good, but the reality of Seocast is just disappointing. So it's mostly good for, yeah, making you appreciate Unicool and trashing your reputation with your customers. That's kind of what it's for. Hey ho. That's cool, indeed. I honestly don't want to buy. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Multiverse. I can't blame you. I feel the same. Oh my god, is your rant about how stupid the UK satellite elimination tournament is? So if you had a few bad games, you only get 3 games of Infinity and no prizes. Can't wait to hear. No, it's not. No, and I didn't know that was the case. Who the hell is running that? What are they smoking? Good God, man. It's not how you do that. It's not fun. But then some people just want to make stuff hardcore and for the sake of it, be like, yeah. But I don't know. I need to find some more information before I speak about it, realistically. But I'll look into that access. Thank you. Did I have a good holiday? I had a glorious holiday. The only thing that I didn't have is I didn't have like a curry house curry, which was disappointing. I didn't get a Burger King, and I wanted those 2 things were over there, but I just didn't get them. It's very disappointing. There are worse problems to have in life. But it was very relaxing and very fun, and I saw my family, which is the important stuff, and the kids had fun and practiced their English, which is nice. And my wife likes going back over there as well, because we lived in the UK for a while, and it reminds her of those times, so that's nice. We just had a good time. We had a nice time. Thank you. And I even managed to buy some miniatures. Visited one miniature gaming store and spent money there, so that was great. Very happy with that. I have complete control over myself at all times. Do I buffalo? Out of genuine curiosity, why did you want to get a Burger King? Hang on a sec. I got the Suicide Squad box and my katana was broken. Sent them a photo and my address and they never got back to me. Well, that's rough. That's terrible, Dorina. I'm sorry to hear that. Why did you want Burger King? Because sometimes it's just memories. The one over here is fine, but you get different. It's like KFC is different in the UK and it's better. And my wife agrees, just to be clear. But the burgers are subtly different, Evie, in the UK, and they're just the right way. I can't explain it. It's just, you know. Yes, I did. Yes, I went to the UK. Yes, the decision to buy the upcoming Feudum character was 90% based on, is he Unicorn or will I despise building him? I can completely get that, the trail. And some people don't help. Yeah. Some people aren't helping that discussion. There was a whole thing the other day where somebody was defending Seocast in Warcrow. It's like, no, people are telling you they hate it. Telling them that they're not having that experience doesn't make it not true. It just means that you haven't had that experience, which is not the same thing. Yep, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I like some KFC. It's better in the UK. It's just the Dutch sense of taste is they don't like as much spice, so things aren't as kicky, and I miss that. So I never will forget when I came over here for the first time. We got Chinese food, which is more Indonesian than Chinese food that you get in the UK, which is not Chinese at all, but you know what I mean. And my father-in-law, my now father-in-law, was like, oh yeah, we don't have a lot of spice, but you can add sambal to it. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what that is, but that sounds cool. And he gave me this little thing of sambal, and I just took a spoonful and ate it, because that's how you know? And he was like, oh, don't do that, it's really spicy. And I was like, it is? Oh, that's spicy? Okay. And yeah. It's something that I've noticed since I've been over here. Spice just isn't a thing, and I miss it hugely. UKG Birmingham tournament is elimination tournament, and only top 16 players play day 2. They talked about it on the latest Metachemistry podcast. I was so confused. I listened to it twice. And you pay for convention satellites, so it's like €80 or something to play. Ugh, I don't know. It's so the thing is, I don't. It's one of those things. I do not listen to other channels. I don't. Loss of Lieutenant, Rob Shepherd, all these people. I don't listen to their stuff, and I feel like I should, but I don't. And it's because I hear stuff like that, and it just annoys me. I just anyway. So oh god. Anyway. I'm sure they have their reasons. I'm sure they're good. Did you hear the diplomacy in that just dripping off of every word? Oh yeah, if you want spicy, you need to get food from an Indian place. You get the tikka masala or something. Yeah, but it's just tame over here. But I love it. To be fair, Evie, I have never been happier than living in the Netherlands. This is my home. When I come back from the UK, I'm home, and that's it. Despite the accent, despite my poor Dutch, this is home. But there are things that I miss, and that is definitely one of them. That's like my dad's first time having a falafel. Really? There's a story there. If you've got to cook with spices yourself, which is what I do pretty often. Yeah, no, absolutely. I actually get my mum to bring over certain things, certain spices and stuff, so that they actually have some nuts to them when you have them. But excess, that's mental. If that, yeah. I don't, yeah. I'm sure. How long have you been here? I have no clue you lived here. I have lived here getting on for 8 years now. A long time. But before you ask, Nederlands is heel moeilijk. En mijn Nederlands is niet zo goed. Maar ik moet proberen, maar niet op YouTube. So that was a bit of Dutch for you people. I do speak some. There's people that know me personally that's probably the most Dutch they've heard me ever speak. So there you go. There is that to be said. Should we have a rant? Should we do a bit of a rant? And this is going to be. I want to talk about. What do I want to talk about? Hang on a second. I just got to do a little thing. I just got to do a little thing for a friend. Where's the thing? No. Somebody just commented something wildly inappropriate somewhere else. So, where did that go? So, a very good friend of mine sent me something today because they know that I'm a fan of Warcry. And it was a small channel over here on YouTube. And this individual is just starting out. So this is why I was going to do like a response video. But actually I don't want to do that. Because I don't think it's nice. I mean, I hit today, briefly, 5,800 subscribers. Numbers don't mean anything, but that has a degree of weight to it. I'm Dutch, and even I suck at it. Yes, you do, Shampoo. I didn't want to say anything, but you can have beter done. Indeed. So, yes, it's a small channel, and I don't want to kind of do that thing where you call out a smaller channel, somebody who's just getting themselves started, and be like, you don't know what you're talking about, you're an idiot. I don't think that's nice for and I don't think that's appropriate, and I don't think it's right, and I don't think it's helpful. But this individual did a video about Warcry. And you know when you watch something and you're like, dude, what are you talking about? What, fundamentally, what are you talking about? Because this video was titled something very specific, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to lightning rod this person. And they were kind of making a big, bold statement in their sort of intro to their video, or their thumbnail and their description. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Because I think there are things that could be criticised legitimately about Warcry. And I think that there are, I think there is conversations to be had. But this good friend of mine was like, what do you think about this? What's your view? Because I don't think this is accurate, but I'd welcome your input. So I went off and I had a watch. And it was only a little 10-minute video. And I was pissed at the end of it. You watched it. The guy's an idiot. Like a clickbait, yes, along those lines, very much so. Very much clickbait. And it was clearly, this individual was just, they didn't freaking know what they were talking about. Because they were talking about problems with Warcrow, and they're like, nobody, there's no one that's sort of out there organising, community events and tournaments for Warcrow, and it's a big problem. I love Corvus Belli, but they should totally get on this. And I'm like, dude, do you even know what a Warcore is? Have you even Warcored, MF? I'm very close to swearing. That's how annoyed I am by this individual. There are a lot of legitimate critiques to fire at Corvus Belli. There are. And I have fired them, and, Seacast is definitely one. But if you can just turn there and say there and go, you don't have a street team out promoting the system, it's like, yeah, you do. They're everywhere. There is a map. You can find one. And if there isn't one, you can reach out to Corvus Belli and become one. And they will support you to raise and promote your system. Don't sit there and go, it doesn't exist, when it does. It's a thing. Do you know what I mean? Just stupid, Dallinair, to be honest with you. I don't wish to be rude. And very hyperbolic, indeed, Larkbeard. Try Fracker Return. Fracker Return Wallet. Either's legitimate. But, like, if you're gonna take a swipe at a company and put this kind of very bold, ballsy type headline out there, like, raw, be freaking right. Do your job. I think you have, like, a responsibility as, if you're going to put your thoughts out there, be right. I have got stuff wrong. That's absolutely true. And it mostly boils down to misgendering an orca once, which was a legitimate mistake. I didn't notice the boob. Anyway, and a whole load of mispronunciations in Warcrow. I mispronounce things like an absolute legend when it comes to a lot of the stuff in Warcrow, and I will fight for my right to do so, because it makes all of you lot look clever when you say it right. That's why I do it. I do it for you, for love of the community. But spend the time to find out. And, like, the other things this guy was going through as well, a load of them I was just like, you're wrong. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Taking a swipe at the marketing and saying you should do it like League of Legends. Do you understand how the wargaming industry works? Yes, GW's out there pumping out these multi-blooming tens of thousands of euros worth of animated bloody videos, but, like, A, Corvus Belli is going to bankrupt themselves probably if they try and do that. But B, that's not what the community is going to react to. That's not what Warcrow is. No, don't do the thing. Hey, Dorina, okay, take care, my friend. Have a good one. I know who really liked one of their recent videos. Yeah, I can believe it. I'm Dutch, and even I suck at Googling. It would have set them right. At that point, I always wonder if it's done in good faith. That's the thing, Shampoo. It looks like it's not done in good faith. That's the other thing. I had like a whole set of things talking about the marketing and being completely off. Like, this is how they should market. No, it isn't. That's precisely not how they should do things. And, like, taking a swipe about the new version and if you're going to be doing something and taking a swipe at a company, be right. Because I think there are things that you can say that are wrong with Warcrow. I don't think they get their marketing right. But I don't think they should make it look like League of Legends. I don't think that's right at all. I think that there are ways to market the product that they're just missing. And I don't think that Corvus Belli understands for a second how to teach people to play their games. They just don't. They never have done. That's not really news. I think that the onboarding process for all of their systems doesn't just leave things to be desired. It would be great if they just tore it all down and started again. But that's just me. That's how I learned to play Infinity. I found a Warcall Jay in my local area and emailed him. Then I got a demo with Studio Terrain Miniatures. Boom. That's it. Idiot. Too many of these idiots. When I went to both Infinity or Walk or site and up pops the join the walk or team, then I get the confidence I want to walk or. Do it. Mike, just do it. If you wait for the confidence, it'll never happen. Get stuck in. The best way to learn is in the middle of the fire. That is my recommendation. You'll find videos on the channel and more coming up that talk about how to demo and stuff that I've learned that may help and support you. Plus also, if you are you are a member, so if you are on the Discord, then you can ask questions there and I will absolutely help you, support you, get your community off the ground, as will other people within the community who know their shares. Absolutely. I'd rather have reasonably priced miniatures. Absolutely, Blissful Badger. You can pay for tens of thousands of euros of blimmin' animated 3D 30 seconds of bliss on the screen type adverts, or you can have cheaper minis. Well, I like cheaper minis because, you know, it's great if I look at them and go, wow, that's really cool. But if I can't then afford it because they're half the national debt of a small country, what's the frickin' point? That's why I ask you. I'm just kind of done with the whole. The thing is, this guy as well. He said it with the confidence that only a guy of a certain age can have. To be honest with you, it's just you hear it. There's a lot said these days, and this is briefly. Some of you may disagree with this one. But there is a certain type of guy, normally white, normally a certain age, normally straight, who just can say things with their whole chest that you're like, that, I don't have the nuts for that. And telling Corvus Belli that they should, you know, have a street team, when they do, yeah, Kaz, you're mental though. I love you dearly. So you're a masochist. He is. Kaz is a masochist, and we love him for it. Kaz is one of. He is. If Kaz's name wasn't Kaz, it would be YOLO. That should be his name, because he's just like, yep, do it. Yeah, don't. No. Oh God, he's done it. Oh, he's still alive. That's a good sign. I saw the video and like that creator. I'm in the same situation. I really want to play, but there's no scene where I'm in Texas. I'm not in a position to set one up on my own yet. Brian, I can totally relate to what you're saying. That I can totally relate to that, not having a community around you, and you have to make the decision about whether you have time and energy to do it. And if you don't, that's cool. It sucks and it's rough and it's terrible, but turning around and going, Corvus Belli should have people on the ground. When they do, they have a program for doing that. They can't enforce globally somebody within 30 minutes of everybody that wants to play. That's not one of the options. It's just not. And I believe there are people in Texas, but I don't know. The problem is Texas is the size of a small country. So where you specifically are, have you checked the Warcore map to see if there is anyone there that can support you? The confidence of someone at the start of the Dunning-Kruger chart. Yeah. I've not seen the rest of the guy's content. I don't know what he does and doesn't know. But watching this video and listening to what he was saying, it was just like, dude, how you're missing really basic things about the community and then slagging the community for it. You know, you don't have this. Yeah, they do. That's a thing that exists. I don't know why you would say that a thing that doesn't exist does exist if you have done your homework. A 5-minute Google will answer that question. Then it's not a question of Corvus Belli should do this more. It's a question more of, how do we get more people to do this? Because, you know, if you become a walker, there are incentives for you to do more walkoring. You get points. Points get you discounts. Discounts get you free stuff. This is really, really nice. It's often how I pay for my tournament packs. I pay for it with points that I've earned from my community, or at least get them discounted that way. So there are incentives for you to do the thing, but somebody has to step up and do that. And I get that sucks, but points do in fact make prizes. You are in fact correct on there. But Corvus Belli can't be solely responsible for starting communities every single place. They've created a mechanism. You've got to be realistic off the back of that. And I don't agree with him on marketing. I don't think marketing with 3D animated stuff like GW does is practical, cost effective, or in a lot of cases useful. It's, if you can afford to put together a nice 3D animated movie, that will tell me precisely nothing about your system. That's what I want to know about. That's what interests me. So I don't know. I think it was, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think it was very poorly conceived, and I think it was poorly researched, and it could have been done better. And I think it should have been done better before it was put out into the community. When you do this, you've got to be so mindful of the fact that there are people that will listen to you and people that will care. Combat Jump demo, Larkbeard, I love you dearly. I really do. You have, even when you have a small following, you still have a duty to make sure that what you are saying is valid. Otherwise, what's the point? And if it's not valid, don't say it. Don't be hyperbolic. Don't just take a swipe at a company. You are impacting their income. If somebody is watching or researching Warcrow and they see that video, they may be like, well, I don't want to do that. Well, based on the fact you're wrong. I don't know what half my units are in Infinity. I go, this guy's a ninja with a sniper rifle, this one's a shotgun. That is the way forward, Franco, and I love you for it. It's just not in my gaming vocabulary. It'll come. It will come. You will absolutely get there. Be the change you want to see in your local gaming community. Pick up one of the starter boxes that has 2 factions to do demos with it. It's a heavy lift at first, yes, but if the payoff is building a community to play a game you play, it's worth it. Take it from someone who did it with MTG. Oh man, Yellow Kaz, that is me. It really is, and I love you for it, Kaz. Multiverse, there's two. I'm going to back up Gramps a little bit here and say it's not always possible. Not everybody can do that. Like you said, it's a heavy lift. And if you don't have the time, which a lot of people don't, if you don't have the energy, if you don't have the inclination, not everybody wants to put that time in, because it is a shed load of time and it is ungrateful. It can be incredibly disheartening. You can find yourself in a situation where people don't respond, or where people just back out, or your hobby becomes facilitating other people's hobby, and that is not for everyone. And I respect that choice. Not everybody is as stupid as you and me and wanting other people to have a good time and therefore putting the time in. It's dumb. But if you can do it, and you do it, more power to your elbow. That is the way forward. That will, be the change you want to see, but it's not always practical. And I don't think, we can't always expect people to do that. It's not fair. It's not fair to, because it does suck sometimes. There's times when I run a gaming night, and there have been times when I've taken 3 full tables of terrain to a gaming evening and not played. Because everybody was paired off, I wasn't. So, it happens. It's all good. We live with it. So, yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to get the HydraBreaker box and see if anybody wants to play demo games with me and try to get more people in. Good plan. Evie, are you in the Dutch Infinity WhatsApp group? If not, reach out to me on Facebook, or where else can you reach out to me that's sensible? On YouTube, you can't do that. Yeah, reach out to me on it very much does exist. Reach out to me on there, and we'll hook you up with other players, because I know there are players up north. I just don't know where. There are some towards Alkmaar who are really good friends of mine, who are incredibly lovely mammals, and they will look after you. So yes, of course, no problems. Happy to help. And then maybe one day you can make the journey down south. I mean, maybe you will in a couple of weekends' time. Just come down here. Come and watch the game being played. And I'm going to be wandering around, so you can just hang out with me and chat. It'll be good. And stare at a lot of miniatures. And we also have some of the most beautiful painted miniatures coming. I think I'm going to try bringing DFC and BT to my local store. I think both are reasonable for the area and hope to get a decent following. AOS 40k is about it right now. Yeah, do it. Blissful Badger. Be the change. Charge in. Absolutely. CB has a great system. Yeah, they do. Gramps, they really, really do. It's a lovely system. And I understand if you can't sort of cultivate your community. Damn it, I'm not paying attention now. Look, I'm screwing up my paint job. I understand if you can't cultivate your community or you don't want to. Not everyone should and not everyone can, and that's absolutely fine. I feel for you, man. I do feel for you. I do appreciate what CB tries to do with war cores. I don't think it's the perfect solution. I know I wasn't around for N4, but that sort of system felt like the perfect way in. Yeah, yeah. Yes, war cores is good. War cores is fun. Much like Battletech Aces or whatever, and simpler rule set to start with. How bad was Code 1? It was absolute dire. Purely conceived, totally the wrong way to do it. Wrong thinking, wrong headed, starting from the wrong place. I do have a sister in Bilthoven, so maybe I can crash there after I have a long train day. Of course, that sounds like a really good plan. Careful, he's trying to catfish you into being a TO. Hang with me, it's a slippery slope. That's how we get you. Come, look at the miniatures, look at the tables, look at the terrain. Don't you like this? Isn't it fun? Come play with us. One of us. Although the funniest thing in the world to me, in my very soul, is watching Infinity played in Dutch. It's just like, yeah. It's just all these wonderfully Dutch words, and then suddenly somebody will say something in English because there's no direct translation. It's just glorious, and I love it. It makes me happy everywhere. Hell, I wrote an entire D&D one-shot for a New Year's Eve part at a game store, and I sat there almost all night waiting for people to play, and nothing. Oh, dude, that sucks. I've had that. I've spent entire days in gaming stores, actually in the UK, way back when. Like, yeah, we're doing a demo day, and the store was like, well, if it works, you know, and I drummed up interest and all the rest of it, did all the things you're supposed to do, and then no one turned up. And the store owner was like, well, that didn't work. I was like, yeah, no, I'm really glad I've been here. And you telling me that that didn't work at the end of the day when I just know that it didn't work, that makes me feel so much better. Yakumi, I've just learned what the parachute skill does. Bravo! Evie, you're in. So what was up with Code 1? Code 1 as a concept was great, but what Code 1 was is they went through and they chopped out some of the rules. So you lost things like lieutenants were not a thing. And fire teams from memory were not a thing. And there were kind of a load of things that just got sliced out to make the game simpler. But then you had like proper full Infinity players teaching it, and they would be like, oh yeah, no, that isn't one of the rules. You don't need that here. There was kind of a it-shaped gap there, but you didn't sort of use it. It just wasn't there. So people were like, oh yeah, what's that then? And you'd end up teaching them N4 anyway. It was kind of, I think the maximum I ever saw was like people playing 3 games of Code 1. I know there were communities based on Code 1, but if you had an N4 player, you had 1 or 2 games of N4, of Code 1, and then you're like, come on, let's just do N4 because it's just easier, and you're going to end up there anyway. Most people did. So it was, yeah, it was Infinity N4 light, but not in a good way. It was just kind of, it felt like bits were missing, and that's not what people wanted to play. So very quickly they didn't. And because it was a niche version of the system, most tournaments, not all, there were Code 1 tournaments, but most tournaments were still full N4. So it was kind of, well, if you want to go and play competitively, you're going N4. If you want to get games all over the place, you go in N4. So it kind of choked a little bit on the success of N4 as a system. So it was a shame. I think Essentials is a better idea, but it could have been better executed. I think there were faults with that too. I think for new players, Sandtrap was a terrible product because it was just not for them. Will Mazebreaker be different? Is that one of the reasons that I'm happy about it? Who knows? You'll find out in a period of time that I can't remember because I can't remember when my embargo date's up. So there's that. God, you guys should see the Infinity group chat in my little club. Nothing has made me feel like more of a loser than just being like, hey guys, anyone want to play every month or so? Dude. There are days in my local community of Infinity. So I run a community group called the Buccaneers, and there are days when I will look at the Bucks WhatsApp group and there are 190 messages, even though I've only been away for an hour. Because when the hype hits, and the chatting is real. Why was Sandtrap not for new players? Isn't it perfect to get into the game? No. Evie, the problem with Sandtrap is that Sandtrap does not contain rules. It contains missions for experienced players. There is no guide to learning Sandtrap in the box. What you have to do is get the quick start guide, or more importantly, watch my video, which is conveniently available on my YouTube channel right now, of how to learn Infinity N5 with Sandtrap. The idea was great, but there was no how to play. It was really disappointing. It was the frustrating thing was the release before that, Blackwind, had the quick start rules in it, so you could learn with that. But then Sandtrap came along and they went, here's the shiny, here's the new edition. But no, you don't get started. You don't have rules in it. Why would you want to ruin a perfectly good box by sticking rules so that new players could learn it? Why? Monsters. It was very frustrating. So, yeah. I bought my models when N4 was out and Code 1 felt like it was Infinity's version of Kill Team, but I never learned how to play it till N5. It was N4 with bits missing, and it really showed after a while. I really hope HydraBreaker is good at onboarding. I know you can't talk yet. I know I can't. It's really disappointing, Franco. I wish I could tell you. I will tell you now, when the box turned up today, I was like, oh, that's cool. I haven't got time to look at that today. And then I was like, oh, actually, I need to check out the book because I need to know. Because I've asked a question whether it's good for onboarding or not, and I didn't really get an answer because no one really knew. And so then as soon as I had the option, I was like, right, I'm going to open it up. And I opened it up and I was like, well, that answers that question. And then I moved on with my day. So I know the answer to that question. There's probably quite a few other people that know the answer to that question. But they can't tell you. And they wish they could. But they can't. And we will soon. And then you'll know. And you can carry on with your day with that information in hand. And make a purchase or not. You know? But isn't Infinity already a enthusiast product, sort of? If you're interested to that extent, isn't learning the basic rules not much bigger of a leap? Infinity, get ready for the speech, everyone. If you've been on the channel a while, you know this one. Infinity is really easy to dive into and drown. There are a lot of sort of nested rules and layered rules that, if you just run face first into them, make the game feel impenetrable. It feels overwhelming, because when you start most war games, so like if you play Bolt Action, I love Bolt Action to bits, but when you do an activation in Bolt Action, you have one of 6 options pretty much. There are 6 things you can do. So when you activate, you do one of those 6. That's your choice. And in most wargaming systems, when you have your turn, you know, what should I do? Those are your choices. With Infinity, you have your turn and you go, Infinity, what should I do? And Infinity goes, yes. And there are 30 odd options of things you can do just in the basic form. Just 30 core things that you can do. Which one should you do? Well, it depends, which is why it's on the t-shirt. It does depend. So it's really easy to get out of your depth with Infinity and sort of lose yourself in it and get out your depth. And it's easily done. Approached with care, approached with consideration, with, you know, a really basic sort of do the core systems first, learn your dice rolls, learn your declaration processes, all that kind of stuff. it becomes a system that builds from the ground up and is accessible and is exciting and is interesting and is logical and is rational. Try and do everything on day one and it becomes this impenetrable mess of noise. And had our good friend Sandtrap contained the starter sets like you had way back in the day with Blackwind, etc., it would have been a great starter set because there were really cool miniatures in there and it was really interesting. But it didn't. And it was just one of those, I remember seeing it. So for those of you who don't know, I was working with Corvus Belli. I was a freelance copywriter at the time with Corvus Belli. So when I first saw Sandtrap, I was like, okay, so this is onboarding. We have the sort of intro rules for this. No. But why not? But why not? Why don't we have them in there? Because that's not what this is for. This is for our existing players. But what about our new players? Well, they get Essentials, but Essentials is not Sandtrap. Sandtrap's the new hotness. Sandtrap is the sexy new stuff. Essentials is not that. Yeah, it was just they didn't get it, and it was really weird. It was like, guys, come on. If you're going to tell the world about your new sexy miniatures, those are the ones that people are going to want. And you're saying they're not for new... It's dumb. It remains dumb and a bewildering decision. So, like I said, Corvus Belli, worst company in the world at teaching people to play the game that they make. I will never understand it as long as I live. I am fairly certain of that. But hey. That's why the channel exists, because if it didn't, if they were good at doing their job, this channel wouldn't be here. So, you know, it's not all bad news. Some good news there too, I guess, depending on how you look at it. Walk and shoot, absolutely. Hang on, I've missed what's going on. Where are we at? In Concept Code 1 was really good. I do sometimes see those big value boxes for armies. I do kind of like those. They were bonkers. The fact you could basically buy an entire faction shampoo in one box was brilliant. Really, really bad for my sort of self-control, but you buy one, you at least have some options. You would have massive amounts of options. I DM'd D&D, and it's fun, but it's nice to be the player. Yeah, absolutely. Some people love to be the player, some people need to be the DM. Same with wargaming communities. Some people want to lead it, some people want to be involved in it. All is valid. Your reaction to opening the box says a lot. It does, but I haven't said anything about my actual reaction. Infinity says, yes. He's doing the thing. I'm doing the thing. Do love the rant. Infinity goes, yes. That is the most hilariously accurate way of describing how Infinity feels. It really is. Infinity says, yes. And it does constantly, and it's why I love it. It's why I come back to the system, because you always have that moment. I love that. There is a moment in Infinity when the deployment is done, when the command tokens are spent, when somebody's stolen 2 orders off somebody else, and you hold your breath for that first order, and all of the potential of the next 90 minutes of your life are in that one order. And it is glorious. Every dice roll that is before you, every decision, every skill, every single thing you're going to do, it's just there, and there's no other system like it. That potential, that excitement, that hype. How will it go? Will my dice turn around to me and go, haha, screw you? Or will everything flow beautifully, effortlessly into this cacophony of violence and objectives, and just my opponent on the other side of the table being breathless at my epic tactical genius? Or will I be sat here going, stupid game, dice roll. It's all in that moment. And I love it. Because Infinity says yes. And it is just glorious. There's nothing like it. So, anyway, what were we talking about? That being said, I do love how they present their rules as free on an app and none of that codex nonsense. Agreed, down there is one of the great things. It's one of the reasons I love CB. I do have a question about missions that come from the battle boxes. Could you still play them using different versions of the game? Yeah, you could for the most part, but you could absolutely. You just need to make sure that it kind of I'd say the new ITS missions are probably a better way to go because they're kind of balanced against their current version. So you could do it though. There's no reason why not. The mechanics are still the same. The guts are still the same of the system. So I see no reason why not. Me chicks, what's no maze breaker yet? Me damn. There you go, maze breaker. That's what you wanted. There it is. Operation Maze Breaker. 2-player introductory battle pack. It's just there. Shall I turn it? Should I turn it? Oh, no. Anyway, there we go. There's Maze Breaker for you. I did the thing. You wanted it, Franco? There it is. I have Cold Storm from N4. Could I use N5 rules and play those missions? I can't remember what the missions were like, but they normally, the ones in the packs were very similar to... yeah, Cold Storm was introductory. You'll be fine. Use the structure. What I would say is use the structure of the missions inside of Coldstrom and use the QSRs, the Quick Start rules, which you can download for free from CB's website to teach you. Is the tactical genius in the room with us? Sometimes I wish it would stay, but it doesn't, Evie. It leaves like a monster in the night. Essentials looks nice though. It does, and the theory behind Essentials is great. There's a couple of issues with Essentials, and that is if you do Pano and JSA, then you get all the terrain and you get the rules and the If you do Yuching and Nomads, you don't. You just get the 10 miniature action pack, which it would have been good if they did the same structure, where you got the terrain and all the rest of it with those. And they're old miniatures. It would be nice if they were newer ones. CB turned it for about a fraction of a second at the low resolution, but yes, they did. They did. They may have done, and that's entirely up to them. But I'm not. I should not be turning any boxes this evening, my friend. It's not a thing we're going to do. The most you're going to get is like. That's beyond Operation Maze Breaker right there. When you see Operation Maze Breaker and you see when you see that, it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? When you see it, you'll see the thing, and it's just, it is. Just when I saw it, I was just, oh. And then, you know, I loved it. It was great. And so were you, because you're an individual of wealth and taste. So, yeah, look forward to that. I'm glad we had this talk. I need to look at my date when I can talk about it more accurately. But yeah, there's at least three videos coming on Maze Breaker. They're going to be crunchy. Do we know when the Beyond box is releasing? That is coming. When you get these new 2-player starter sets, they tend to come as box and Beyond box available in a set on launch day with a limited edition miniature. So look forward to that. And the limited edition miniature tends to go in both factions in the box. I can't confirm whether it does in this set, but I can tell you that previously it has. So I love tap dancing around NDAs. It's so exciting, and I'm sure it makes riveting viewing for you guys. But yeah, you get the principle. There are things, yeah. Oh, it is going to be. All I'm going to say is the review of Maze Breaker is going to be one of the most interesting reviews that I've done for one of these sets. Did you screen cap the reflection off the paint? Damn it, no! Don't do it. No, you should do somebody. I think I saw somebody done like a CGI, an AI rebuilding of that at some point, and I was just like, dear Lord, people, give it a week. It's coming. It's coming. It's not a week. I don't know when it is. It's coming soon. TM. You'll love it or you'll hate it or you'll be disappointed or whatever. It's yeah. Is it worth the hype? There's going to be a moment I think in the video where I talk about whether I would, because obviously I've had that sent to me by CB, where I talk about whether I would spend my money on it. And I think that's going to be the most interesting bit for a lot of you, for a whole set of stuff, reasons. Am I helping? Is this interesting? I can never tell. But yeah, Look forward to that coming soon, TM. So, oh dear. And where are we? I wish you could ask more questions that could get answers. You can ask as many questions as you like, you don't get the answers. Oh, 38 seconds in the Boss video. True that. People gossiping it was going to be the twin tail girl with the adhesive launcher that recently got an article. Well, that's an interesting concept. Yeah. Does HydraBreaker come with terrain? Is that NDA? Yep, it is NDA. You know, technically they showed the back of the box, if only for half a second. That means you can show it very clearly. No, it doesn't. That's already been confirmed. That's absolutely already been confirmed. We have a Discord for members, and no, that thou shalt not. There will be a Bostria-shaped lance of bright light on the screen, and then I'll be instantly disintegrated in a cloud of Spanish water. So no, not worth the risk. Not risking it for a biscuit or anything else. Apologies, the other half just got back from picking up our son from cadets. Had to dip out there. No problems, Mike. Welcome back. What type of cadets? That's an important question. What flavour? One thing that I think I like about Infinity, looking from the outside, you always have at least one card to play. Yes, you do. You always have multiple cards to play. It's whether you realise it and whether you are ballsy enough to do it. Campaign starts on the 19th. It does indeed. They showed some of the terrain in the announcement and the organic alien tower. Same one as the cover art. Did they? Wow, that's interesting. That's very exciting, that bit. I wouldn't know anything about that and I couldn't possibly comment one way or the other. NDAs are fun. NDAs are fun. I have so many NDAs at the moment. It's untrue. It's like... So I've got this satellite coming up. Don't know if I've mentioned that. Anyway, so I have a new book for Flames of War. I can talk about that. That's coming. I can't talk about it, but we've got this new book, which is very, very cool. So that drops. We've got the Sun Spear coming for Eldfall. So that's coming up too. Can't talk about that. But that's coming this month. I believe that should be before the satellite. Actually, this is all before the satellite. Then we have HydraBreaker. What else do we have? Oh, some new terrain from MicroArt, which I can talk about. I could show you that actually. I might show you. I showed you that the other day, I think. Did I show you the new stuff? No, I didn't. I haven't seen you since. I'll show you some new terrain that's coming up for our friends on MicroArt Studio. So that's really cool because we like a bit of MicroArt, don't we? Yes, we do. Glad you all agreed. Got something else. Something else I've got an NDA for that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but that's coming up. And then we have all the Drop Fleet Commander that we're going to be doing, and then we have all the Star Wars Legion we're going to do, which I wanted to do this month because I've got so much to do on all of it. And yeah, then some dumbass is doing a satellite at the end of the month, so I have zero time and still need to get all this stuff done. So it's very exciting month ahead. 19 odd days. So yeah, Morse coders with the brush strokes. What's the doggo called? When did you say a deadline for the list was? 16th is the date for the lists. Technically, although I haven't really advertised it, so I'm not too massively worried about it. But ideally, list for the satellite is 16th. Ideally. Just to give me a chance to run through them all and judge you all and decide who's actually going to win, basically. It's important. YOLO, embrace your inner Kaz. I'm not YOLOing anything, Kaz, because if I do that once, then I don't get any more toys, and I like having toys. Toys are fun. Usually operation boxes have towable terrain. Yes, they do, usually. You are quite right. Usually that is the case. I'll call mine Bite. That is a very good name, Evie. I appreciate it. There is some alien terrain. I hadn't noticed that. How cool, isn't it? Isn't it? That would be very interesting. I know they did in the past, but this box looks kind of small. Does it? LF knows. Yes, they do in gear. LF knows everything. You touched on the subject of a war core. I noticed last time I checked there was a gap of war cores Midlands area of the UK. I can believe it. I can believe it. It's a special kind of dumb. They've recently had a rationalisation of war cores because there were a whole load of war cores that weren't doing anything. So there was a bit of a cull and it was a bit overdue. So I would imagine that whoever was war core in the Midlands ain't no more, basically, which is probably fair because you go on this list and then you don't sort of come off them. So I can understand why. But yeah, when it's really, you can apply and become one. It's really, really simple. And if you do have the energy and the inclination to go out there and tell the world about the might and majesty of infinity, then you should totally do it, Mike. Definitely worth it. I mean, it's an interesting change to have quite open alien terrain and not just boxes like they did previously, but also reminds me of XCOM. Hang on a second. I just look at it. Oh. Oh. Wow, would you just look at that? That's amazing. I mean, yeah. It's certainly interesting. It's certainly interesting. I mean, you know, it's kind of, it's one of those things, isn't it? When you sort of, you get that, wow, look at that. Oh, wow. Anyway, so yeah, where was I? What were we talking about? Sorry, yes, looking at the box. GW actively hunts them in their territory. Heads on spikes. Yes, they do. I can believe it, Larbeard. You're allowed to discuss that one piece they showed us. Did they? Interesting down there. That's cool. Main box, and it's a follow-up box together. I just like minis. Painting is relaxing and helps my mental state. Good stuff, Franco. That's what's, you've got to get your pleasure and your happiness where it's from. Bullying. I'll report you to Twitch. Do it. Do it. Report me. Makes me look like an absolute badass streamer. You know, I think if you haven't been reported, are you even trying? Yeah, so Franco, if it's your first run through this loop, then what you tend to get is the box, the Beyond box, and a special edition miniature. That tends to be what the initial releases are, with a free, the limited edition miniature tends to be free, whereas you pay effectively full price for the Beyond box and the standard box, but you get that extra miniature. That tends to be how it goes. But Evie, if you're buying stuff, let me know as well, because we have a tame local game store that imports stuff for Infinity for us at a discounted rate in the Netherlands. So they're called Lowland Miniatures. The owner is a good friend of mine, but he's a good friend of mine because he sells me stuff. But he's also supporting the satellite. So we've got a really tasty set of gift cards actually for the winners. Losers get nothing. No, they don't. They get the wooden spoon, which is exciting. We were going to do the unboxing, weren't we? I'm going to get these guys blocked in red, because then they're pretty much, I think that's good enough, isn't it, for a little piece of terrain? It's kind of fine, isn't it? It'll do the job. So I'm going to get these blocked in red, and then we're going to unbox the tournament pack for the special edition tournament pack. Does that sound fun? Do we want to unbox the tournament pack, guys? Should we do that? I think we should do that. We can do that in a minute. And these are all blocked in red. What else have I missed? I'll keep it in mind. Do. He's a friend and a nice individual. He owns a company. It is a company, by the way. It's not like, my mate Dave can get you good stuff from out back of car. It's actually a legitimate business. So, wow, I will know I'm playing a whole week before the satellite. What a crazy idea. I know, XS, it's just random, isn't it? I'm surprised how many people are asking about MazeBreaker. The answers all seem similar. I wonder if Hydra has an NDA. Who knows? Who knows? It's one of those things. I get it. I get the hype. Yeah, I have a lot to say. All I will say is I have a lot to say on MazeBreaker. There's going to be, like I said, I think 3 videos on it, and yeah, is it all good? Is this the perfect 2-player starter set? I don't think so. I don't think there is such a thing, because there just isn't. I think that there is always room for improvement. But you'll see. You'll see. It's one of those things. Is it pretty? Of course it is. Is it a must-buy? Find out in the review. But yeah, I like this period is always fun from the perspective of, you know, the hype, the speculation, the community getting together and being like, yeah, what do we think? What's it going to be? And it's going to be good to see sort of a revamp of OSS and a revamp of Corregidor. I know there's a whole discussion about, you know, Corregidor only recently got redone, but they kind of, you know, we had a bit of work with Crimson Stone, which was a couple of releases back. But did they really get redone? Is this them getting redone? Yeah, okay, we'll see. But it's nice to get some new stuff for Corregidor. Corgis are probably as close as I get to a main faction at the moment, because I'm kind of a little bit bereft. Well, that's not true. I'm not. I've got my Shook Army back on Cemento because I'm a hipster as F. But yeah, I think they're my main kind of current faction, and it's nice to get them updated. It's nice to get new toys. Have to say. I'm surprised you enjoy not being able to talk about this way too much. I know it looks that way, but like I've got opinions and I want to share them. You got to remember is that on the other side of this camera is someone like you, okay? And you know when everything's announced, the first thing you want to do is turn around to somebody else and go, well. You know? I want to turn around to you guys and go, well. But I can't. And it kind of sucks because I've got thoughts and I kind of want to bounce it off you guys and be like, guys, but I can't. And it's rough. Rework, as in the units will change up the faction a lot, or are we expecting some kind of big balance patch to go with the box? No big balance packs, Evie. We've had we get that a couple of times a year. We've had one of those relatively recently, a couple of months back. So I would not expect anything substantial until later in the year. What should happen here is we might get a couple of like bumps and wiggles when Army gets updated with the releases for Mazebreaker. Like this particular unit had a misspelling on it, or this particular unit was clearly busted because we put this in, not this, or whatever. But I wouldn't expect a major balance patch at this point. I take it you're pretty new to the system, Evie. I think I can't remember if I asked. I should have asked. Are you very new to the system? You've played some bits, I think, from what you said, but pretty new. No, the oldest tags are now the geckos, metal models. Yes, they are. In the past, we saw that the oldest ones are usually the ones getting a new model in a different material. That may be the case, Larbeard. Maybe not. At least one new unit with the Vigilante. Is that really? I played one practice game and then 3. That's it. Right. Yeah. So you're relatively new system. So yeah, it's that's not what you tend to find with CB is over a period of time they develop an update. And that comes through with data from the tournament system and from the community as a whole and feedback from the community. And they make bumps and changes. They only really get this rapid stuff out if there's a major problem. So we had that at the start of N5. N5 dropped late in 2024? Yeah, 2024. No, 2025. Yeah. Oh, God, I'm lost. Yeah, last year. Late last year it dropped, and then we had a patch fixing some of the stuff that was borked in it pretty quick afterwards, within a couple of months. That's not normal. Normally it will be a good period of time to get a good set of data behind any changes that they make. Yeah, but there was some clearly broken stuff in N5 when it dropped. Which again, you can find videos on my channel now. Anyway, there was some broken stuff, but it's now gone, so you don't need to worry about it. But we did have that for a while. That's got a really thick line on it. I'm not happy about that. It needs to be blended in a bit more, I think. Slap some more red on it. That will take care of the problem. Show me that. That's it. Right, where are we? Oh yeah, show me that Cien that I don't need because I already have 2. If you only have 2, you clearly are missing out. It's my first run, so I'll have to watch closely. Still hoping Steel Phalanx gets some love. Meh. I don't know. Steel Phalanx is one of those weird factions inside of Infinity. Always has been, always will be. Yeah, there's certain units you can tell, or certain factions that you can tell that CB is very much on, very much focused on. And then there's other ones where it's kind of like, oh yeah, we need to do them too. Let's do this with them. Okay, that's good. Move on. Feels a little bit like that. Steel Phalanx has always been that for me. It's always like, yeah, and them. Almost wanted that box just for the Shinden tag. Yeah, I understand that. So did I, but I already own 2. And I'm not sure that Shinden's going to make the cut of my current restructuring, so... yeah, I've seen people talk about the October update that apparently shook things up a lot. Yeah, well, that was that October update. Yeah, that was end of last year. So it was the year before that the game came out. Sorry, rattling from it. Let me get that done. So end of last year, we got the October update. What they're referring to there is where the factions that had been dropped from N5 were brought in again. So that was good. So that was a big update. It was the start of last year that we had the rules update, which fixed issues relating to things like super jump, which was monumentally busted for a while, and certain other bits and pieces needed tweaking. So, yeah. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the new box, even though all they will do is either raise or lower how excited I am to buy it, because I buy all the nice boxes. There are things in the box which I think are great. I'll say that. There are certain things inside this box that are just like, oh, that's nice. So, right, like Neoterra, my friend, yeah, exactly that, Evie. Neoterra came back, Shock Army of Unconscious came back, also known as the good guys, and yeah, lots of Ariadna. Come here, Varuna. I've just got to pop something out of the box before we unbox it. Take my little tournament code out before somebody steals it, because there's always one person who does that. Gonna need it. Right. So we're going to unbox this now. So this is the Season 17 tournament pack. This is the special tournament pack. If you haven't seen these before, they do these mid-tournament and mid-season of the tournament series, and you get new stuff in it. So normally you just get a standard miniature. This year has been our friend Sanchon. You go in XS. Sleep well, buddy. Just crush my soul. Why don't you, Hydra? First no Spartans. Now this. So sad. I'm so sorry, Kaz. But it's not. You'd like it. It's my fault. It's not my fault. Super Jump is still mad strong. Right. I need to change my view a little bit so I can actually see the stream a little bit better. There we go. Let's put that here because then I can see everyone. A box you need to host tournaments. So, Evie, you have the official tournament series, which has a code, so you can report the tournament to Corvus Belli, and then they put you in a global ranking. So you can do that, and if you do get it, you get a load of stuff in the box. It's just, I do open this way. I can open this way. So this is all the stuff that you get as part of this. It is chargeable. You do have to pay for this, but the idea is that it gets you all your prizes, you get to report and officially get everyone ranked globally. So at the moment we have the limited edition Mechazoid for Shinden. So this is the alternate pose for this guy. It's pretty, I do want one, but resolve. Anyway, so this box, this whole contents here is the first stuff that I'm announcing properly that is going out to the satellite prize. So the winner will get to pick something out of this box, and then we'll go down the line and they'll get to pick stuff. So Mechazoid, then we have the Cien with HMG. So this is the resculpt of this. I believe by the feels of things, yeah, that feels like that's unicorn. Pretty. Pretty. Then we have Sunshine. So Sunshine is the standard prize for this year. So she's the one that's been available throughout the entire season. And now we have her in here too. So you get 3 miniatures in this box. But it is like 75 euros, so you know, you want it to be. Where are we? Neat little samurai gemmed up, absolutely. Later, Kaz, take care, buddy. Maybe you can enlighten me. CB is not in the habit of intentionally rocking the boat to sell new stuff. Apologies in advance if I asked this before. Is there still a classified deck? Yes, there is. Does that still apply to N5? Yes, it does. Make sure you have the current one. It's green from memory. It's the operations deck. If you have that, you're good to go. Not a fan of the new pose. Fair enough. Neither am I. It's not that great. Body Girl. The white box design is nice. It is. Sometimes they do the artwork and you're like, that's so pretty. That's very pretty. And both of them are. Like in the Mechazoids pose as well. It's just, they do make pretty stuff. There's no two ways about it. They do. And these all appear to be unicorn. So we have much love for that. Let's go into the box. The Crazy K. So this is the Crazy K keychain. It's quite chunky. He's quite a big chap. You're not sticking this on a padlock key. This is going on something you definitely don't want to lose. I love this. I shouldn't like this as much as I do, but I do. It's just not fair. Then the standard blue template. Then we have the replacement cards in Spanish. I'll open these up because I can, I'm allowed to. Let's have a look at the new cards. So you have the operations deck, which contains your classified cards in it, and you get periodically the new special ones in Spanish. So we've got interrupt the signal and decimate the enemy forces. At the end of the game, the player gains objective points based on the army points they have killed. That's a nice card, actually. You pull that, you're going to be happy. Interrupt the signal. At the end of the game, the player gains 1 objective points for each structure point lost by an enemy beacons up to a maximum of 3 objective points. Very situational, but potentially very useful. Very cool. 2. So these are alt cards to go in your tactical objectives deck. Not actually classifieds, but tactical objectives deck. So I guess these get added in. That's kind of cool in English and in Spanish, because it's a Spanish game, if you didn't know. So those are going to go out to somebody. What I may be is just comedy and give one set of them in English to somebody, and then maybe give the last place player the ones in Spanish, just for comedy. Just for comedy. Next time, do better. You can have them in English. A winner's pin, because, you know, chicken dinners are important things. And what have we got here? These are the order. These are the gold order tokens. Hang on, what's everyone talking about? Yeah, I should turn it sideways. That makes more sense. Color coded for my convenience. Absolutely. Power Armor official. He's in the Sea Cadets. And now we head to summer there on the water from 1830 to 2100. Blimey. I was in the Air Cadets way back in the day. They're cool. They are cool. And they are actually metal as well. They're proper metal. Silhouettes. S1 silhouettes. Cute. Yu Ching. In fact, both Yu Ching. No, that's a JSA, sorry. Yu Ching and JSA. That's cute. Dice. Roll as well as ever. What's this? Oh, do we have a magnet here? I think we have a magnet. Let's check it. Yep, that's a magnet. Stick this on your fridge. So this is the cover of Sandtrap. Shinju doing violence. You love fridge magnets. There you go. All you have to do is place it in a tournament sufficiently high that you can grab this and run. Now on to the do I keep that one? That may not come out. Let's hide that one away for a minute. So we have our Velcro patches. Is that a TO stealing patches? Yes, it is. Morlocks. Nice. Griffins. We've got here Shinju, Mechazoid. Oh, the Mechazoid one. That's nice. So that goes with the tag. That's this guy. Ah. Nice. We like that. Sancha. And the CN as well. I think that's the CN symbol. Let's check. I mean, yep, that's the CN as well. So that's cool. That's funky. Do I keep this one? Because I'm a warcore. Inappropriate touching. So we've got that. And then we have It Didn't Go So Well, Your Wooden Spoon, with Official Infinity on that. There is quite a scrap for this, actually, in the local community. There's quite a discussion about who's going to take this home, so there we go. That's the Kenji for Eternity, I believe. Evie, I bow to your knowledge on such things. No, don't do that, please. Shaming last place is bad. I don't shame last place. I love last place. I'm not a tiny guy. Can I still buy the box? Yes, you can. Frankie, you can buy them online. This special edition one is €75. The normal ones are about 40 or 50, but they don't contain these. They only contain the Sancha. But yeah, you can get them on the Corvus Belly website. You could just buy them, and then they come with the tournament code as well, and all that sort of stuff. I have way too many of those. You have to be. So yeah, I totally relate to that. I have bought way too many of these packs over the years. I think I've got 5 in the house at the moment. What's the deal with the spoon? For last place, if you come last, you get a wooden spoon. It's just tradition. It's kind of, yeah, last place, Tail End Charlie gets a spoon. So they actually now have one properly done, and it's a nice touch. It's a little bit of comedy. I also normally, for a normal tournament, say that whoever comes last also gets free entry to my next tournament, because that's nice. It just makes it a little bit less painful. I happen to be somewhat conversational in Japanese, though my Kenji knowledge has greatly decreased in recent years. That's impressive, Evie. Immortals is another name for CN. Yes, it is. That's the last place prize ever I see one. Yes, it is. It's a gorgeous thing. It's a glorious thing. So yeah, so this is the first like official satellite prize that I'm announcing. Oh, I forgot the cards. Look, I didn't put the cards in. Why didn't you guys remind me? Goodness sake, one job. So yeah, that is that for now. So tomorrow I've got to make an awful lot of HydraBreaker videos and Flames of War videos. It's a horrible sound for you guys, I'm sorry. I've got a lot of videos to make tomorrow. I'm a busy boy. Still got a lot of objectives to paint. So there's that. I need to check. I don't think I need to do my new table anymore, which is a shame, because I've been working on that. I have a, so for those of you who haven't seen, I'm going to show off a couple of miniatures actually for a second, because before I disappear for the evening, before I bid you adieu. So there's the whole story about the Shock Army back on Cemento, which is my main. It's out of production, now back in. So I'm making a table to go with them. So if you haven't seen them, this is the scheme for my Shock Army. She's still work in progress, clearly, but she's getting there. It's not looking bad. Looking nice and shiny. And he's still not finished, but you can see the base. The colour scheme, a little bit, sort of how it's going to look. This still needs finishing off. The actual miniature needs finishing off, so does the base. There's going to be like tufts and stuff on here. So it's very much like destroyed city / jungle type feel is what we're going for. It's coming together, he's looking all right. So I have a table to go with them, and it's kind of jungle, like destroyed city type feel. So as you can see, this one hasn't even been started, but some of the other elements have been. Let's have a look. Behind me, I think, have some of the vehicles. All work in progress, clearly. So I've got a lot of work to do on these, but I'm finishing my objectives first, coming back and then working on those if I have time. I'm not sure I need the table. I think we've got enough tables now. But like, there's some really cool pieces of terrain that I've got printed up to go in there. This is obviously, it's only had its first coats, but it's got a lot more to go, and it has a little roof that goes on top of there. So this is also going to be for the Star Wars Legion terrain as well. It's going to do both. Focus, damn you. Thank you. So, a good friend of mine 3D printed these for me. Awesome tower at the back of the field. So, although Shock Army guys are usually green, since I know Pano tends to be blue, they are a type of green because Shock Army back on Cemento is basically Vietnam in space. That's what that is. So, we did not stay long in the Blackbeard. Don't do it. Don't upset the Shock Army player on his stream. You're not ready for it. You don't want to go there. Be nice. Good morning, Vietnam. Absolutely. And just absolutely no chill when it comes to violence, which is why I love them and why I enjoy playing them, because it's fun to just basically cash your way across the board and YOLO into people's faces with absolute certainty of violence to be achieved. Why do I like Shock Army? I like Shock Army because so Shock Army is a brick in a sock. You wield it with absolute conviction at people's faces, and you beat them repeatedly until they stop doing whatever they were doing, and then, and this is the important bit, you continue to wail on them. You continue to do the violence. They're just a pure, thoroughbred, violent army that happens to do some missions at certain points. They mostly just do violence, and it's glorious. It's so much fun. I've always enjoyed with Shock Army that moment where the opponent realizes what's about to happen, and they realize that they don't actually have much say in it. It's just going to happen to them. It's just, you're just going to do the thing, and I love that. It's brilliant. And then when if it comes off, it's brilliant, and if it doesn't come off, it's also brilliant, because it's just like, oh well, never mind, we'll do it again another time. But yeah, Shock Army is just, it's just life. They just are, they're brilliant. They've got so many interesting and unique mechanics about them, and really cool things that you can do. I thought going War Crazy was what the Ninth Sector ordered. Military orders do War Crazy. This is not War Crazy. This is Violence Crazy. War Crazy implies tactics and subtlety and approach and all that kind of, we have none of that. We have none of that. We have guns and we have violence, and that's it. I've got nothing else for you. Just violence. It's great. I love it. So maybe that'll be your first tag. It should be. It's a lovely. It's a lovely tag, mate. You treat yourself. Absolutely. You did. Oh, are we back in the room? I think we're back in the room. Did we come back up? I think we did. No, we didn't. Yes, we did. Oh my goodness me. I don't know what happened there. I love that. I was just like, I was just like going, okay, well, I'm going to talk to you guys later. And then it completely died. Thank you, Blissful Badger. Anyway, on that note, I am going to bid you all good day, because I think that's my my stream's way of saying, get off, you've been on too long. Fine. Take the hint. So thank you all for hanging out. It's been a genuine pleasure. Lovely to meet you all. Evie, absolutely reach out wherever it's convenient for you, and I will add you into, or get you added into, the Infinity community for the Netherlands, and you can come and join the insanity. I lost me for a minute too, Dallinair, but that's just standard. Thank you all for a lovely stream. It's been a genuine pleasure as ever. Take care of yourselves. Have a glorious week, because you've earned it. And don't forget to hydrate, and don't forget to relax and do things that you enjoy. Treat yourself. An hour on me doing what you love. But, you know, not the sort of like exclusion of something that you actually have to do. Do it when you have time, but do spend the time. It's important. Do that. But thank you all for your time. It's been lovely. Take care, and I will see you all again soon. And bye-bye.